Hi guys, my name is Deirdre, or Dee to those that know me, and I thought I would just pop in here and tell you a little bit about myself and how I got my garden going. I have started a new channel called The Chaotic Gardener because that's what I consider myself, a chaotic gardener. I definitely do not stick to many rules and regulations. I know that they are valuable and that is my aim. One day is to get to that, but my aim is to challenge you if you are wanting to start something and you feel like it's all too big and all too overwhelming and all too expensive. My challenge is just to do it. It doesn't matter how big or how small you start off with. Get a pot plant and grow that and nurture it and move on from there to a slightly bigger container, and from there use what you have lying around. I remember watching Jess from Roots and Refuge. I remember watching Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm once during COVID, and she was saying she just used whatever she had lying around and made her garden beds, and that was inspiring to me because I didn't, definitely not during COVID, which is when this passion really took off and started growing. I didn't have the finances, extra money. Who did have the extra money to go out and buy supplies to start fancy garden beds? So scourging around my garden, people who owned the house before us had done building, we had done building earlier on, and things like lintels were left lying around, bricks from walls that had fallen apart, big stones and boulders, and I gathered all those things up and cleared a space in my front yard, so it had to be kind of attractive looking because it is right where we walk into the house, and I started building. And my garden has not stayed the same. It has changed each year since then, and it has grown, and in my mind it continues to grow, and hopefully there are dreams and aspirations that I would love to get to one day, but for now I'm happy with what I've got. Some years since I've started have been better than others, and I've had more time and energy to put into the garden. This past summer has been a particularly difficult summer for me. I had a sore back, so I couldn't do as much gardening as I wanted to, but thank goodness I had some butternut that I had planted, and they just took over a corner of my garden and kept me going, kept me inspired. But as I was saying, I just did it. It is not perfect, and as I said, I definitely have dreams and aspirations for the perfect, most beautiful garden, but to me, I look out of my bedroom window and I can see this little patch of green and vegetables growing, and I have grown those and I have put them there, I have nurtured them, and I have had such joy from getting my hands dirty, getting stuck in there and watching them grow, and then getting to harvest them and eat them. I just, every single time I am left in awe when I get to eat something that I've grown. It's like, wow, this really tastes like that vegetable. And I know that sounds stupid, but it just blows me away. We just so easily go into a shop and we buy fruits and vegetables with no consideration as to where they've come from and the hard work and effort that's gone into growing them, and the love as well. But when you are physically doing it yourself, and you get to harvest that pea or that strawberry or that leaf of kale and then go and make it into something that your family and you get to benefit from, it is just an amazing feeling. So I'm here today to show you a little bit of my garden, which is not what it should be at the moment. We are in the middle of winter in South Africa, in Pinetown, and this is a glorious winter's day. It's probably about 26 degrees, and I know I'm sitting here in a jersey and some people would be scoffing at me around the world, but it was a bit chilly this morning, and it's just comfortable now. But yes, my garden should be further along than it is, but I am also a mom of two and I am a teacher, so I have a full-time job and that keeps me busy, and by the time I get home in the afternoons it's the mad rush of cooking dinner and preparing for the next day and all the rest of it. So my vegetables have had to learn to grow without much water and with lots of love and care on the weekends and not necessarily during the week. So that is why I consider myself more of a chaotic gardener than a by the rules gardener. And as I said, I have hopes and dreams and aspirations, and definitely would like to get to the point where I do more for my garden. But at the moment, I'm giving it what I can, and I am getting out huge benefits, and it's good for me. It's my place where I can go to get away and just to fill my cup and be who I need to be for the people that I interact with. It's my happy place. So I would like to encourage all those people who think that they can't to just do it. Don't overthink it, just do it. Do it small and grow if you need to. And if you only ever do it small, then just do it small. You will find what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Don't give up when something doesn't go right. I have learned that often something new that I experiment and plant sometimes takes at least 2 years before I get success from it. Yeah, so I kind of joke to myself that I'm the 2 to 3 year kind of person before I actually make sense of a lot of the vegetables that I plant. But it's a fun process, and I don't give up. It's win some, you lose some. I'm not kind of an overthinker in that regards. Overthink in a lot of other ways, but when it comes to that, I'm like, oh well, it is what it is, and we just keep trying again. Don't give up. Try and just have fun. Get your hands dirty and enjoy your body being active and working, and the joy that comes from harvesting your first vegetable. I hope to spend some time showing you the chaos of my garden. So my inspiration is to you is to be chaotic. If you can't do it by the book and the way it's supposed to be, it doesn't matter. Just do it and have fun while you do it. So here I have some sprouting broccoli growing. I think I started it a bit late, so it's taking its time. This is a pepino melon that I was gifted. As you can see here, I've got a few new babies growing, which is very exciting. I have propagated a new one over there next door, so I'm hoping this section will grow a whole bunch of pepino melons. I usually in this space grow some lettuce during the summer months because it gets shaded over quite quickly. It's quite nice that the lettuce gets to stay in the shady area and doesn't bolt quite as quickly. So as long as I can, that's where I usually plant my lettuce. This is usually covered in beautiful purple flowers. Here I have some beetroot growing. I had a whole bunch of rainbow carrots growing in here last season, so you've got 1 or 2 self-seeded ones there, and an eggplant growing over there. Some more sprouted broccoli. So this was one of the last beds that I built. It was just an open space that I had planted in, and then, as I said, I found some bricks and made this little garden bed. See my pathway here. My husband has just spoiled me this morning with some peanut shell mulch for my pathway. There is straw underneath that as well. I have a bed here that is Georgie the cat, and this is part of my chaos in my garden. So we have had some really heavy rains recently, and because of this tree that was chopped down because it had died, and it is progressively still, the roots are dying under the ground, so some of the space is sinking in, and I now have a lovely little hole. So I've decided as I pick some dead leaves off, I will just keep shoving them in that hole and make this space nice and fertile. I had snap peas growing here. We've got a few still growing over there, but this plant is pretty much done. Here I have some spinach growing, some pepper plants. So this winter I decided to plant like a mixed bed of things, some purple cabbage, which have really not done too well, but have kind of been more of a trap crop for me. In here I have some chives, which should bounce back shortly. Some purple podded snap peas. These have done really well for me, and it has been such a delight to grow purple peas. Those have been really, really fun, so I will definitely grow those again. And some more beetroot. There's Georgie. She likes to walk around the garden, so she appreciates the garden. This is a lovely mixed bed. Some bok choy, spring onions, some kale. I had peas growing up here as well. Those were just done. So now I've planted some cucumber, some more beets, and some leeks. Some are really ready there. I think a nice leek and potato soup will go down well. And a little bit of prettiness. Another fun bed here of different types of kale. This kale was actually gifted to me by Ronwin from Ronnie's Green Patch. And here I had lettuce, and I've decided to let them to go to seed so I can collect those seeds and grow them myself, with some more spinach, prettiness, and some more bok choy over there. I have a blueberry bush, still trying to get on top of that and getting it to grow nicely for me. Every season I get about 3 or 4 blueberries at this point, so I'm hoping this season I get more out of it. Here is another little mixed bed. It had lots of bok choy in it, and I've put some eggplants in here. I have some ranunculus growing, and in the corner here underneath this nifty little cover, which is here to stop my cats from going in there while the seeds germinate. Again, more of my chaos, but it works. I have some rainbow carrots growing, so I'm really looking forward to these ranunculus and the prettiness that they are going to bring to my garden. I definitely am a fan of pretty as well as vegetables. So here we have a bed of onions. Nasturtiums kind of taking over there, needs to be trimmed back a bit. And this bed, again, I have some beans growing under here, so that fence will be pulled up and will be the peas grow up, but while their beans are coming through, I've just put it down there so that the cats don't get in there and do their business. I have some little tomatoes growing there, and I know it's strange, tomatoes growing in winter, but have found that we get less disease in winter, so they seem to grow a little bit better, slower, but at least I don't have so much powdery mildew because our summers are very wet and humid. Here I have beans growing. These beans have been amazing. I have got a lot off them already, and then just about 2 weeks ago I cut them back, and now they are doing their thing all over again. So that, in a nutshell, is the space that I have where I grow my food. Oh, sorry. Here I have peppers. I've got some more peas growing over there, and some more broccoli in the corner there. So a bit of a mixed match of a bed. But that is my happy space of vegetable growing.